Hey, deserving listeners, it's time to continue watching 90 Day Fiancé. As I always say, everything that I'm saying in reaction to the show is purely speculative based on very little information and should be taken as such. Let's watch the show.
I took the test now. And it's positive, pregnant.
Wow. So I'm just going to tell you my non-therapist reaction, my citizen reaction, as I sometimes call it. So, one, she doesn't want to get pregnant. That's a huge stress for her. Two, she had a miscarriage not long ago and is at risk of that again, which would be devastating to her again. Jovi didn't seem to care, but maybe he does. Presumably he does. Jovi and Yara's relationship is not very solid. I think both of them would agree that. And having a child and then forcing, because before she got accidentally pregnant and they decided to get married right away, but she had a miscarriage before they got married, so maybe this will cause the two of them to, fast track a marriage that ultimately isn't really what they want. And then they're looking at a situation where they're raising a kid together and not really liking each other, and then eventually they divorce or they have a lot of conflict or something. I mean, we could certainly see that happening, right? But the amount of stress that I imagine Yara is going through right now, it's just got to be awful. To be in a foreign country with your boyfriend, the father of the baby, gone for weeks at a time. You're not with your parents, you're not with your friends, you're not in your home country where you know the doctors and you know how people operate. Must be really, really scary for her.
Joey comes back in a couple of days, and I don't know what his reaction will be. The night before when Joey leaves, I tell him that I'm not ready to have kids. How can I trust you after this? How can I born your kids if I know that you can leave me alone? How?
Sorry. What you want me to tell you?
This is not sorry, Joey.
Yikes, I forgot about that. I remember it, but I don't remember it being that concerning. So, yeah, yikes.
I'm nervous, but I'm so much excited to tell Joey about the big news. I want to see him reaction. I want to see him face when I will tell him that. Hey.
Hey.
What you drinking already?
Don't worry.
What you holding in
Look at so much lipstick on.
I'm drinking alcohol in the morning.
It's Coke. Ready to go home?
Yeah. You liar.
So, I don't know about Jovi, but one of the signs that someone has a problem with a substance or any habit is that they will hide it from other people. There are many other signs, like you try to stop and cut back and you fail at being able to do that, that you have problems in your life because of it, that you don't have any control over it, that you make excuses, that you choose the habit over other needs in your life. But we don't know that about Jovi, but we do see one sign here that at the very least he, in this moment, is trying to obscure that he's drinking, and he's literally just lying about it. Now, he might say, nah, I was just playing a joke. Yeah, of course I'm drinking, because for me, because of the time zone difference, it's like 9 o'clock, and I decided to have a drink on the plane. There's nothing wrong with that. But we've seen a pattern of behavior for Jovi that seems to point at some kind of habit. Now, maybe he just likes to drink and he could stop at any time, and it's just his choice that he does that. Or we see someone that needs alcohol for a variety of reasons. Usually people will drink habitually because they have a lot of relational traumas from their past or some kind of trauma that they subdue with alcohol. One of the things that alcohol will do is it will absolutely numb you out, and any distress that you're feeling ongoing will usually go away. Now, of course, alcohol habitual drinking can cause a whole other set of problems and sometimes doesn't work entirely to numb us out. But a lot of people will do that, and I don't know about Jovi, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Let's go. Where you get a whiskey from the morning?
It's not whiskey, it's
You
Coke.
tell me that you will not drink. Look, 8 for 50. You're drinking whiskey already. Think I want to smell alcohol in 8:50 when I come to the airport?
Yeah.
Drop the Coke, please.
What?
Because it's just bothering me.
So if you have a partner who is struggling with an addiction or a problem, use of a substance or a habit, there is a path forward that doesn't usually involve just forcing the other person to stop. There are reasons why the person does it. It's usually much bigger than just telling the person to stop. And what I recommend is that people go to Al-Anon in the United States. Al-Anon is for people like Yara who have a partner who may be suffering from something like this. And there are other things too. You can go to therapy, obviously, with someone that specializes in addictions. I worked for a number of years with specializing partially in addictions. I wasn't an addiction specialist, but I was a therapist that worked alongside chemical dependency professionals and would provide individual therapy, couples therapy, family therapy to help people when they were going through recovery. And there were a lot of different experiences. And one of the things that I would often see is that the first reaction to the person suffering from the habit is to just shame them, say, stop it. You need to stop that. You need to cut that out. But that denies the reason why the person is doing it in the first place. It also denies the fact that the person might be completely dependent. It also denies the fact that the person might not want to stop. And just telling someone to stop doesn't usually work, right? And usually it's a much bigger campaign that we have to go on to get to a place of sobriety and emotional health. So it's normal that Yara is doing that, but it's not likely to work. I mean, it might work now. He might throw away the drink right now, but is that going to solve the problem? Probably not. But I don't even know if he has a problem. I just want to be clear. I can't diagnose him, and we just don't have enough information. There's some slight yellow flags, but we don't know.
After a month at work, of course, I'm expecting her to be happy, be excited to see me. And the first thing she does is complain. She's mad because I had a drink when I got off the plane. I'm pretty sure Yara drinks on the plane all the time when she flies. So I don't see any reason. I think she's just looking for something to argue about.
Jovi, 8:50 in the morning. For you already smell like you've been drinking.
Now, of course, we know that she knows that she's pregnant and he doesn't know that. And she's very anxious about that pregnancy and is very anxious about being in a relationship with Jovi, given who he is and the way he lives. And so it would make sense that for Yara, at this point, she's like, I want to tell him about this pregnancy, but I'm worried about his lifestyle, and it makes sense that she'd be really focused on the drinking at this point. So hopefully she can say, okay, actually, I have to tell you something, because I think this is coming from a place of much bigger place than just you drinking right now. I think this is a big conversation. I'm pregnant. I'm worried about us. I'm worried about your drinking and your job, and I don't know what to do. So there's a way to have that conversation that is non-accusatory. There's a way of having that conversation to not trigger each other. Let's see how they do. If you want to become a patron of the podcast, that's how we know that you like what we're doing. So you go to patreon.com and you become a patron of our podcast. That would be super cool of you. You don't have to, of course. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.